Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette are in power and have helped the American War as well as participated in the French and Indian War, which caused them to fall deeply into war debt. They neglect to help their people and spend money lavishly on themselves. Enlightenment ideas are also starting to rise, and these ideas, along with fiscal problems, prompt a revolution in France.
Now that we have helped the Americans and resisted the Brits, we don't have a lot of money. It's so sad.
But I can still buy my beautiful dresses, right? Oh, and those lovely rugs, too.
Sure, honey. We'll just raise taxes again for more money, and this time on the nobility.
In 1789.
Oh no, the nobilities are protesting. I guess I have to call to the Estates General as my last resort.
The Third Estate then demands social change and claims to themselves the National Assembly. This led to the meeting in an indoor tennis court where the tennis court oath was taken, in which the Assembly could not leave until they gave France a new constitution. It's July 14th, 1789.
I think the king is trying to undo the events that have taken place because of the States General. Let's attack the Bastille prison, where weapons are held. No one can stop us. Yay! We toppled the castle!
This is really going to inspire people to revolt.
I just know it.
We, the people of the National Assembly, hereby pass a Declaration of the Rights of a Man and the Citizen, which proclaims equality and asserts individual rights. Now sign it, Louis.
Do I really have to?
Yes, now sign it.
Fine.
With its new freedom, the National Assembly changes the social order. They seized church lands and redefined clergy as citizens. They also promoted a constitution that deprived the king of legislative authority. France became a constitutional monarchy in which men of property could vote.
The French nobility is trying to get our foreign power to help the king and restore the old order society. This means one thing: war on Austria and Prussia.
The following year, revolutionary leaders declared war on Spain, Britain, and the Netherlands, and fearing defeat, they created the Convention, which was a new revolutionary body that abolished the monarchy and proclaimed France a republic. We have this new machine, the guillotine, and we will use it on whoever deserves it. Let's vote whether to persecute the king and his greedy wife for being guilty of treason. Looks like the king and his wife will meet the guillotine.
Woo! Off with their heads!
Wait, where are they?
Hey you! You don't look like a peasant! Hey! That's the king and queen!
Off with their heads!
I love you, my wife. We have had a good life.
I love you.
Oh, look at that reed over there.
After the king and queen were executed, Maximilian Robespierre and the radical Jacobin party dominated the convention from 1793 through 1794.
Now that the king and queen are gone, it's our time to dominate the convention. France really needs a change, a complete restructuring. A new Lita, perhaps? Maximilian time!
Let the campaign of terror begin.
No one should study Christianity. Everyone will follow our cult of reason. And anyone who disobeys me in any way shall be sent to the guillotine. Such a beautiful contraption. Brings joy to my eyes every time.
And finally, in July 1794.
We've had enough of you, Maximilian, and your controlling ways. You and your allies are under arrest. Oh yeah, and you're being sent to the guillotine.
Now that he's out of the way, some conservative men seized power and tried to end France's troubles. The Directory rules from 1795 to 1799. But they were not very successful and did not solve the economic and military problems of France. The Directory faced constant challenges to its authority and came to an end in November 1799 when a general named Napoleon Bonaparte took power. Napoleon was a brilliant military leader who supported the revolution.
By now it is time I join the Directory.
But Austria, Russia, and Britain formed a goal to attack France and end the revolution.
I will not stand for this. Forget the Directory. I am the direct ruler of France. I am now naming myself First Consul and imposing a new constitution.
Napoleon had almost unchecked power to rule the French Republic for 10 years, and in 1802 he became consul for life. In 1804,
Consul for life is not enough. I am crowning myself emperor. I brought political stability to this land torn by the revolution. My agreement with the Pope in 1801, the Concordat, was a great thing for the country. I established that France would keep church lands, pay the clergy's salaries, and recognize Roman Catholic Christianity as the faith of France.
Yay, Napoleon! We have Christianity back instead of a supposed cult of reason.
As of now, I am putting into effect a civil code. This will also help stabilize French society. This code conforms the political and legal equality of all adult men. I don't want to just stabilize France, I also want to ascend authority.
During 1812, Napoleon decided to invade Russia.
It seems to me that Zara is conspiring with my British enemies. It is time to invade Russia with my grand army of 600,000 soldiers.
Napoleon conquered Moscow, but the Tsar withdrew and refused to surrender. Russians set Moscow ablaze.
Now we are left without shelter or supplies. Retreat! Retreat!
But the Russian winter destroyed Napoleon's army. After he was back in France, British, Austrian, Prussian, and Russian armies met in France and forced Napoleon to give up his throne.
They forced me to give up my throne and now are restoring the French monarchy? How dare them! They exiled me to the island of Elba, but this is not the end.
Napoleon escaped on March 1815 and returned to France.
I'm back, and welcomed by widespread popular support.
But 100 days later,
Not for long, Napoleon.
Napoleon was defeated by a British army at Waterloo in Belgium. European powers banished him to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean, where he died in 1821. In 1814 to 1815, representatives of the powers that defeated Napoleon, Britain, Austria, Prussia, and Russia, met at the Congress of Vienna. The Congress dismantled Napoleon's empire, restored monarchies, and created a balance of power that prevented one state from dominating the others. The French Revolution started because the people wanted to replace the old order of society, but in the end they were back where they started, with the monarchies ruling the country. The Congress of Vienna tried to restore the old order, but only had limited success because of the revolutionary ideals introduced during the French Revolution, which surfaced again after monarchies were restored. Although France never attained a long-term new order of society, they did introduce new revolutionary ideas, ruling institutions, and bodies of law which contributed to the long-term change in society.
Thank you, my good people. Oh, I hope you enjoyed.